Alright, before we begin, I have something important to say. If you're familiar with the game, you might know that it has official site, which has official guidelines. But because I'm the first person to ever film such content, I have no idea if I'm violating them or not. So Access, if you're watching this, let me know if I did anything wrong. The game is MARIKINOnline4, all music, images and footages belong to Team Mo, Rupert Price speaking, and this is my brand new series of videos. In a game like MARIKINOnline4, equipment is one of the most important mechanics in the game. And of course, the rarer the equipment, the bigger power it grants upon equipping. But from what my experience shows, usually players don't know what the item does, and should they spend their time and resources in order to obtain it. That's why in today's video I'm going to cover all red equipment items with detailed explanation how to obtain it and where to use it. Grab your scythes and guns, because this is our lesson in Mo for Akakish. Now, before we begin, I'd like to clarify something. First of all, I'm not a native Japanese speaker, so if I read or translate some names wrong, don't blame me. Second, the game is constantly getting updates, so the information here might get outdated with time. And for last, the game belongs to Team Mo and Axis respectively. I highly recommend to get in touch with the original game before watching my video. We are now done, and let's get to the topic. Like in any other RPG games, equipment is one of the most important aspects of the game, allowing your characters to increase their stats. And in Mo 4, the equipment can be technically divided by 4 groups: white, green, purple, and red, which I would personally call common, rare, epic, and legendary. And, as you guessed by the title, today we're going to be looking at legendary, red equipment. In total, there are 16 different ones in the game, so let's start talking about them with the easiest. The Maido sphere is perhaps the simplest of all red equipment items. In fact, if you have completed the main story of the game, I can guarantee that you have it in your inventory, because you sure picked it in the Island of Hope Japanese from the black chest. And the effect is also simple: you cut your MP consumption in half. How does that affect the character wearing it? A lot. Some skills can use very impressive amount of MP, especially the recovery ones. So having this item on lets your support characters run out of MP way less often. Not to mention, it also works very well with SP skills that give huge benefits in exchange for big amounts of MP, from 20 up to 120 per skill. I think this is a very reasonable support option, especially for the end of the game and post-story gameplays. The MetaPome shield, however, throws a bit of a confusion into the mix. First of all, to find that you will need more than just follow the storyline. In the Amazon cave, right near the entrance where Azagator awaits, if you go on your left, you will see a silver rock blocking your way. Ask one of your chemists to cook a bomb for you that will make the silver rock explode. And further in, you will find the chest with MetaPome shield inside. But is it worth your time and money to get this item? Yes, totally. Especially if you struggle to survive anything. Because this item not only grants you plus 16 defense, but also gets you 60% resistance to all magic attacks. Now, if you are not familiar with the game, damage in Mo 4 is divided on physical and magical. You can identify if an attack is magical when the enemy spins the pentagram before they attack. There are some exceptions, but it's easy to understand from the look of the attack. So, I can easily say that the MetaPome shield is the best defensive items in the entire game. If 16 extra defense wasn't enough, you now receive only 30% of the damage from all the magical attacks. If you have that one character that dies all the time, I recommend giving this item to them. This item is also great for defense, but in another way. If you have played the game before, you probably noticed that some enemies can land a critical attack on you, or strikes how they are called after version 4. Those powerful attacks not only deal 20% more damage, but also nullifies your defense, landing devastating numbers onto your character. By equipping this item, however, the amount of damage will be halved, but only for critical attacks. You can buy it in Casino located in Mori town for 5 million coins. Simple and easy, unlike the next item. You buy this item from the casino, now in Sohonzan, also for 5 million coins, but the buffs on this thing are way different and complicated. So far, I only talked about defensive equipment, now it's time for our first offensive one. This item increases your elemental attack by 20%, as well as breaking through elemental resistance that enemies have. Let me explain. As I said earlier, attacks are separated on physical and magical. But there is also a thing called elements, there are 7 of them in the game. And so, some enemies have resistances or weaknesses to those elements. So, when you use an attack with an element against the enemy that has a resistance to that element, the damage will be halved. That doesn't work though if you equip Akakish's gear. Extremely useful not to only boost your attack, but also remove the resistance that enemy has. Do you like Mazai Frontier? I absolutely love it. The upcoming update is going to have a lot of changes regarding it, I can't wait. But we're here for red equipment, not the mode itself. If you manage to win all 49 rounds in the game mode and become the winner, you will unlock the special shop in the entrance. There, you can buy 3 red equipment items. Ginga's Student Roaster increases your APP charge by 1.7. Saradupa increases the damage from your ultimate skill by 1.25. And Geocrystal gives you extra 36 attack and extra 36 crit chance. However, this is the only red equipment that will give you a negative stat, 80% more damage taken. So make sure to use it on a very healthy Numa. Or simply use a shield. Oh, wait. Do you hate when this happens? When a boss out of nowhere strikes you with buff kill and now all of your stats are gone? Well, fear not, because the next item is made specially for you. That's right, there is an item that allows you to completely ignore buff kill effect on one of your characters. If you go up and right out of Subreku, you'll be able to find a hut with an NPC inside. If you have mind enough, he'll let you trade ores with him, and you can exchange it for equipment, among them Liberty Keys. One problem is... yeah, let's just say you have to love mining if you want to get it. Speaking of which, I also want to mention the appearance of CP Mitoniums Q and P. I won't talk about that much, that's a topic for another video, but here you can also craft them, but only after you kill Beyonder at least once. So far, I've talked about items that have complicated and weird ways of obtaining it, but what if you just want to kill the biggest guy in the world and get equipment from it? Don't worry, items like this also exist. As the name suggests, you receive this item after defeating Arakus, a giant robot that hides in a secret laboratory. The Arakus tail grants you extra 150 HP on top of extra 10% chance of awakening. In short, each time you get hit, you have a 3% chance of getting awakened. It makes your face red, blood boil, increase your attack, crit chance, and a lot of other things. Not only you will have 13% chance with this thing, you also have a 10% chance to awake at the beginning of the next turn out of nowhere. Pretty useful on characters with low HP. A drop from Leviathan, who lives in Neo Cheetah's Brackish Lake. How it works is very interesting. At the end of the turn, the character will get 12 APP. After that, there is a 20% chance to cast all enemy magical water elemental attack. Passive damage never was bad, and hey, it's one of the few water attacks in the game, that's good. Drops from Queen Lemia in the Shrine of Menheria. It has a similar mechanic to the one that Leviathan's Cleave has, a 20% chance to cast all enemy, magical, wind elemental attack. Plus, at the end of the passive wind attack, all front members of the team will gain sprint effect. However, instead of passive 12 APP, it gives you 30 APP if a character enters a pinch mode. Drops from 2 gods of wind and thunder in the altar under Mustabe. This is the only item in the game that will cut your APP usage by 20% on top of plus 10 attack. I can't say much of it, it's just really useful for cutting your APP. For this one, you'll have to visit your old friends, Mikami Army. These guys will gladly take a rematch, and if you win, you get to choose the prize. 100,000 XP, BP, Gela, or Verdestone. Evasion plus 9%, crit plus 15%, and counter plus 15%. Kind of a mix between 2 other items, can come in handy in solo battles or when one character is tanking all the damage. Yeah, I'm not saying these names. But these items are also unique. You might know that all red equipment items can be obtained in quantity of 1 piece. However, these 2 can be obtained infinitely as they drop from the regular mobs, this guy and Duo. Their mechanics are also unique. The sword turns the skill Homobic Caliber into a Polar Homobic Caliber, increasing its damage by 1.25. The latter does the exact same thing, but to the Ender Requiem skill, and does not change the animation. If you were paying attention at the beginning of my video, you might saw that I only placed 15 red items on the screen, though I did say there are 16 of them. And if you asked yourself, but where's the 16th item, I'm glad that you are so attentive. But the answer is that there are 17 variations of the same item. In the hut that is located near Neo Cheetah's brackish lake, you can buy a single item called Soul and Heart. Then, if you go to one of these NPCs, you can exchange the thing for 50,000 Jela and they will give you one of 17 different items. Each of them can be equipped only by one character, but they all share the same stats, plus 8 attack, minus 10% MP consumption, 1.2 more AP charged. And if you upgrade it, all stats get slightly increased. So yeah, that's every red equipment item that is in the game by now. Thank you very much for watching this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe and comment your ideas on which topic should I make next lesson about. Have a nice day, I'll see you one day or another.
Bochican, fucking help me, I'm stuck in the oven!